Buenos dias, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another SLG Meetup. We are going to be flying all the way to Toronto, where we're going to have a great conversation with Donovan, luxury real estate broker. So he's going to be giving us quick input on what is happening in real estate in Toronto, as well as some of the techniques that he's been evolving to really thrive through and become one of the most nominated persons in real estate in Toronto. Hey, what's happening, Dylan?
Hey, how are you doing?
Thank you so much for joining.
Perfect. I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Of course. And I was making a quick intro about yourself. Successful real estate broker in Toronto. How are currently everything in Toronto?
Toronto's doing well. We've, in real estate at least, we've had a lot of up and downs over the past year, but I think what every city kind of globally seems to have in common is that people are really focusing on where they live.
That's great. And how long have you been doing this? Because I obviously see your career evolving, and even now with the pandemic, you've been thriving through. You're, great agent and broker in Toronto. So tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, thank you. So I grew up in a real estate family. So my parents had their own brokerage for many, many years. Just on the outside of the city, and I started actively in real estate when I was about 21. I'm not going to say how long ago that was, but when I was 21. And I moved downtown, kind of broke away from the family ties, and really started to focus on the luxury condo market.
Well, that's incredible. I definitely believe so. And you have some of the most incredible listings. I've seen some of yours that you just listed. They are very beautiful. Really makes it want to go and check them out in Theater Park, the 224 King Street. And so what's so unique about it?
Well, it's the location there. It really is. We have our entertainment district, which has all the theaters, great restaurants, great shops, and it is in the epicenter of the entertainment district. It's called Theater Park for a reason, because it really is right in the middle of everything. It's a really special place. It's that fine line between loft and concrete and condo and convenience.
Yeah, okay. No, you're just saying right there, location. So where do you see currently the trends heading towards when it comes to the real estate market in Toronto?
Well, what we've seen is, as I said earlier, a lot of people have been really focused on their space. People are really wanting to make sure they have space they can live in and not just, live in the downtown lifestyle where you go out for dinners, out for lunch, go to the gym, go do all of that, because for the past year, that's all kind of been up in the air. Currently in Toronto, all our restaurants are closed, all the gyms are closed, everything's shut down. So people are really wanting to make sure they have space.
What you said about the space is very important on how to put it in a way that it's convenient and that it's efficient. So that's well said. Now, do you see currently any specific niche market that is getting into buying those condos?
Yeah, so Toronto for many, many years focused a lot on our international buyers coming in because it's a very safe, stable market, great schools, great hospitals, kind of good place for people to come internationally. But again, what we're seeing now is more local people are buying. People are wanting to upsize. The detached single-family housing market in Toronto has skyrocketed over the past year. So a lot of people are cashing out of those very, very large homes.
It's interesting what you said there because, we see that across many different strong markets. In Miami, for example, is a similar situation. We've seen a seller's market when it comes to single-family homes, just because there is such huge demand that the prices are skyrocketing. We've never seen prices so high when it comes to single-family homes. However, it's also a buyer's market when it comes to condos because due to the inventory that we have and, people trying to use this wave to cash out, you find also good deals. So it's interesting to see both sides of the coin.
And that's where the market, when people ask me to give a quick synopsis of what's happening in the real estate market in Toronto, my mind is blown because every individual little niche market is functioning in its own unique way. It's not just here's the market, it's going up or it's going down. You really have to focus. And in Toronto, it can be so neighborhood based that you could have one neighborhood doing exceptionally well and 5 minutes down the road, it's just not getting that same level of interest.
I believe it's the domino effect, right? Once a property is sold in a nice neighborhood, then everybody else starts buying into the same place. So we've seen that in Miami a lot, and I'm sure in Toronto is similar, but definitely location. Location has always been one of the factors on real estate, and I think that more nowadays than ever, people are looking into that. So, I mean, I think it's a good combination of everything that is going on in Toronto. Now, for you personally, are you currently making any adjustments in the way that you operate your business?
I mean, we've had to really kind of have a big shift on how we're getting our listings exposed, how we're making sure we have good safety for our sellers, making sure that the people coming in are very qualified, because the market that I work in is the higher end of the market in Toronto. And a lot of the times people are just quite nosy and they're curious and they want to just kind of look around and see nice properties. And in the past, it wasn't so much of an issue because, people were around and people were going out. We used to have open houses in some properties, and now
Hmm.
everyone's coming through and we want to make sure they're really well qualified. So we are pre-qualifying people probably much more than we would have in the past to make sure that when they do come to the properties, they are the right buyer for it. And I think the big way we've done that is through technology. Buyers are going through, they're doing their 3D virtual tours, they're seeing videos, they're seeing all the photos, they're seeing every minute detail that a property has. And therefore, when they
Hmm.
actually come and see it, it's not like there's a big surprise that the view is different, the rooms are different. People are just doing that due diligence in advance, which, I mean, we're so fortunate that we're able to have that technology to do, because it makes our life easier, but also more complicated to get things ready. So
Nah, indeed. No, for sure. So thanks for sharing that. And, I think technology nowadays definitely plays a big role with social media as a primary source of exposure. I think that you're also very savvy when it comes to the latest digital platforms. I don't know if you are into Clubhouse,
I
but
have.
that's,
I've joined Clubhouse. I've followed a few of the chats you've been on.
I've
I
seen you, that's
haven't.
why.
Yeah, I haven't really participated as much yet. I'm still kind of getting the feel for it, but I mean, some of the conversations, it's so fascinating because people are all over the world, and I feel a lot of people are experiencing very, very similar circumstances right now. And we used to think that Toronto and Canada was so far removed and so isolated from everywhere else, because we are. I mean, we're a very different market, but it's pretty similar across the board.
You're right. And it's very cool to see how many people around the globe can connect in one particular app and discuss, what is going on and help each other, assist with different ideas. So I think that the way that everything is heading, especially in real estate, it's digital,
Yeah.
just because it's much more convenient for everybody. Even now, I'm not sure if you're doing this often or not, but here in Miami, even people that are in Miami prefer to do FaceTime. Like, no, just go to the property, do some FaceTime, and they're making offers based on what they see on FaceTime, you know? And I think this is something that, it's becoming more natural. When the pandemic started, everything was a little bit off, but
Yeah,
people are getting used to it. Like, look at us, we're talking live like this,
I know.
Clubhouse, people having conversations via audio and that. So it's a new trend, and I think it's here to stay.
It is. I mean, I definitely think people are becoming so comfortable with technology and going through. I know with like the 3D Matterport tours, where you can see
Hmm.
everything on all the detail. We did them years and years and years ago, and nobody would watch them. Nobody would go through them. Nobody would look at them. So we just stopped doing them entirely. I think
Hmm.
even my photographer was saying to me the other day that he was thinking of getting rid of his Matterport material. And then
Oh
COVID
gosh.
hit, and all of a sudden he's like booked up for weeks trying to get all those Matterports done, because everyone now knows it, but now we understand it, so people are
Hmm.
comfortable with it. But I don't think that's
Hmm.
ever going to take away from like the in-person, hands-on. Um,
Absolutely not. I agree with you. I agree. And I don't know if this is happening, but I think that people still want to have an external voice guiding them through, giving them the comfort, the knowledge. But that's why I think that FaceTime, even if you're not in person, you're still assisting somebody, you know?
Yeah.
You're still kind of like guiding through. You want that trusted person that you can lean on.
Well, and that's where social media has been great over the years, but sometimes it's you lose that personality. I
Yeah.
mean, your social media is phenomenal. I love everything you do on it.
Uh,
I want to join
Thank
you
you.
on everything. But having that connection with people makes you really understand them and gives you kind of that trust and confidence, and they're not just a computer spitting out the same thing over and over again. So.
Totally, totally. So, what are some takeaways that you will share with the audience for those that are trying to make it through this time in real estate or wanna, leverage their business?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the main thing I always tell people is knowledge. If you have the knowledge of your market and you have in depth every detail, you know what's happening, then people will trust you in the sense that if you call them, they know what you know what you're talking about, they call you. It really makes or breaks people. And I think a lot of people forget to put in all that back legwork that goes into things, doing all that research, knowing all the data. And that is always the key because I think in the luxury market, the one people value the most is their time. And so if you have done that and you can alleviate work that people have to do and you can save them time, um, then you're invaluable to them.
This is great. This is great. I'll really enjoy your knowledge and sharing this voice. I see somebody in the audience also from Toronto that has real estate there, so it's very interesting to see how everybody from different areas in the world have different inputs when it comes to real estate. Now, I always ask this question, and I'm very curious to know what is really for you luxury.
Oh, what is luxury to me? I mean, it's luxury to me is just convenience. It's service, convenience, and kind of as I just said, anything that saves you time. I mean, if you can have people that can help you through things and do stuff behind the scenes without having to get you involved in it, I think that's luxury. So I think that translates into, our luxury condos. They have service above all is the most important. People want everything done for them and they don't want to have to feel like they're bothering people to get things done or constantly following up or nagging or anything like that. And so I think that luxury to me is, if anything, it's the ability to have convenience and simplicity in your life, I think.
This has been great. I mean, I really like the way that you think and how you're currently evolving through this difficult time to thrive through in real estate in Toronto. And I was asking if somebody has any questions about anything related to real estate in Toronto or would like to reach out to you, what would be the best way to get in touch with you? Instagram?
Sure. I mean, Instagram's great. I mean, my username is very easy. It's just Dylan Donovan. I've been on Instagram for a long time, so I got one of the first names. Also, my website is dylandonovan.ca. So that's really easy to get to as well. There's a ton of information there on the Toronto real estate market. I mean, you can go through all the different buildings that are out there, all the sales. I mean, that's where people are spending so much time just educating themselves on the market. And that's what people are doing right now. People are smarter than they've ever been, and they're more knowledgeable than they've ever been. And so as real estate agents, we need to keep it up there.
Excellent. No, very well said. And I do appreciate your time, Dylan. I look forward to seeing you here in Miami if you get tired of the cold, or when the weather gets a little bit nicer, I'll go visit you.
Yeah, no, I think that I'd rather go there. It looks beautiful, and I really appreciate you having me on here. It was nice to chat.
Of course, Dylan. Well, thanks again, and we'll see each other soon. Take
Of
care.
course. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.